Hey, I'm back again to do another short Q&A. Again, I don't know if I can do short because I do talk a lot. As I said before, it's been pointed out to me many times that I do talk a lot. I like to give out as much information as possible. That way it kind of negates having to ask so many questions, I think. That's usually how I like to be on my videos because I'm assuming that a lot of people don't know about the process of building a shower or redoing a bathroom. And that gets me to my first question. I'm going to answer this first because this week this guy has been after me. He's left me about 4 comments, and I'm like a tennis ball. I'm going back and forth with him, and that's drama. And this is not a DIY channel. My channel is devoted to certain things that I notice about how showers fail, certain things that I notice about how to do a shower in order for those things not to fail again in another 20 or 30 years. And what I get a lot of times is I get critique on some of the way that I do things, and ironically, the people who usually critique me don't have their own videos to show. I go to their channel and they have nothing. So anyway, this guy, Jay Mays, is asking, why do I screen my comments? Basically, he's a little irritated that I don't post his comments and that I don't want to have a debate. As I said, I think I said it on my first video, on my Q&A, my first Q&A video, and I know I've said it on other videos. This is not a forum. You know, there are forums out there, tiling forums. I think there's a Tile Elf, and there's a couple of other forums out there on the internet where you can ask questions and get them answered, and then other people can chime in, and that is truly a forum. YouTube is not a forum. It closely resembles a forum, and sometimes people think because they have an ability to comment that therefore that comment would beget another comment and back and forth, and other people can chime in, and sometimes that's true. But my channel is not a forum. My channel is devoted to that which I just said, is to show people how I see that showers fail and what I do in order for them not to fail, and my process of doing things. There's a lot of different ways to build a house. There's a lot of different ways to do plumbing, a lot of different ways to do electrical. There's a lot of ways to do all the different trades that you can think of. Carpentry is a better example because that is a creative process. There are things that work, that people are tried and true, that they've worked for years and years and years, and that's how they do them. Because a new idea or a new standard comes along, it doesn't mean that these people have to adopt that new idea or that new standard. And so he's asking me basically, why am I screening my comments? He's upset that I'm not showing his comments. And the reason why specifically to him is because, again, this is not a forum. I'm not going to go back and forth like a tennis ball that I mentioned and just keep on debating and beating a dead horse. I have a lot of videos on my channel. I think there's 150 some odd videos. And if he wants to, he can go through my videos and see explanations as to why I do things, but I'm not going to be repetitive on every time I post a video on why I do things. Like, you can just type in stuff on YouTube and go through and see my videos. But he's asking me why I do that, and the reason, as I just stated, because I'm not going to have a debate with somebody. I post my number. My number is on my business card, and as is my email address, and I have a tendency of picking up the phone a lot faster than I'm going to have a tendency of emailing somebody back, because there's too much information, as I said, to put out there for me to sit there and, you know, type out a response. Same as there would be on the comment section below. So, long and short, see, I told you I was long-winded. Long and short of it is that if he wants to call me and we want to have a discussion about, you know, my way of doing things versus his way, or versus what he's been told or whatever, I will gladly pick up the phone. I will have that debate with somebody on the phone. That's not a problem. But I'm not going to do it on my channel, and that's why I screen my comments. If I get a comment on any of my videos that doesn't further, how would I put it? It doesn't further the cause. It doesn't, you know, There are some people that don't know I have 150 videos, so they don't know that I've been doing this for 18 years. They don't know that. And so they'll make comments like, you know, hey, you know, you're a decent tiler, you'll do better with some experience. And I'm like, hello, if you don't like my video or the way I tile or whatever, why would you make a comment like that? I mean, what commonly is referred to as hater. So delete, delete, delete. I'm just going to delete the hating type of comments. They're not necessary. This is not a soap opera thing, and I don't like that people hide behind their YouTube channel or their screen name, because a lot of people don't have content. All they have is a Google account, which allows them to comment on other people's videos. Commonly referred to as trolling. So I don't like trolls, and I'm not going to allow those comments, so I just delete. Anyway, so that answers that. Wow, I talk too much. Really do. So that answers that question. On to the next one. Patrick Brown asked me, what's a fair price to rebuild a shower? Or I guess specifically in his case, he was asking me, what is a fair price for a shower, a tub to shower conversion, which I do quite a few of. Patrick, there's no good way to answer that question. And I believe on another Q&A I went into this in a little more detail, but you know, the short story is it always depends on a lot of different factors. It depends on location, how far you are from me or anybody that you're going to hire. Location matters. It also depends on the material that you're going to use. So sometimes the tile matters. Definitely design features matter. If you're going to put a niche in, if you're going to put in a border, you know, things like that really matter. You know, how much of time it's going to take to do something is how I charge. I don't know how other tilers charge, but that's how I charge. So that matters. How much in a hurry you are matters a lot, because typically in spring and summer, like every trade, we're very busy. So if you're trying to get it done in the next month, and I can make an opening in the next month to knock your job out, I'm going to charge you a lot more for that opening, because I'm between jobs. I'm trying to get this one done, and I already have one scheduled here. So I will get to your job, or any contractor will get to your job for a higher price. So that's why I say there's not an easy way to answer that. And I actually did. I think I gave him the short answer on the comment that he asked me about that question. I did give you the short answer on that, Patrick, because I don't have an idea. Geographically speaking, it matters too. I'm in Atlanta area, and there are tilers that are getting a lot more in California, New York, places like that, than they would be in Terre Haute, Indiana, or somewhere. So there's no easy way to answer that question. The range could be anywhere from 2,000 to 20,000. I mean, you know, can't answer that. But I tried. Mary Kay, interesting. I don't think this is a cosmetic chain. Mary Kay, I need to shave, don't I? When I get busy, I tend not to shave. So, Mary Kay asked me why I don't seal tile. So at the end of my videos, I'm showing, sometimes I show the process. You know, as I said, it's not a DIY channel per se, and I show the process, but I don't show the sealing, although I do have a video that shows how to seal natural stone anyway. So the main reason, and I believe I answered this question already too, the main reason is when you build a shower, you're adding a lot of moisture to the process. So from the very get-go, you have at least 3 or 4 gallons of water. When you pour the shower pan, you have a minimum of 3 to 4 gallons of water that's being introduced there. The job is trying to get done in a very succinct, short period of time, say 6 days or 8 days or 10 days. And nobody really knows the content of that water in the shower pan. Even after it's dried for 2 or 3 or 4 days, we don't know the content of the water, if all of that 3 or 4 gallons has escaped or not. We don't know that. I usually try not to tile my shower floor until at least the 3rd day, into the 4th if I can, to let all that water dissipate as much as I can. But then during the process of setting the tile on the shower floor, you have introduced water again. A small amount, but nevertheless you've introduced water. The next day we're grouting, so now we're introducing water again. Hopefully grout additive, but still it's moisture. So of all the moisture that we're adding, and then heaven forbid, you know, somebody should come along, maybe the homeowner, and decide, you know, before I get back the next day, oh, there's a haze on the floor, let me wipe that off with a wet sponge, or wet it down or whatever. Now they've introduced water again. So what I'm trying to get at is there's dry time and cure time, and they're not part and parcel of each other. Even if you think that something is dry, it necessarily hasn't dried out completely, plus it hasn't cured. So I like Normally at the end of a job, I say to my customer, you know, wipe down all this haze and the grit and all that stuff the best you can with a dry cloth, put a fan on the project, and then wait, I don't know, another 3-4 days, depending on how much you run your AC or your heat, depending on what season it is. And then you want that sealer that you spray on there to penetrate into the grout as much as possible, and the tile as much as possible if it's natural stone. I am almost sure I already mentioned this on another Q&A video that I have, and so this will be the last question, because I'm going to go into this a little deeper. This actually ties into Patrick's comment about fair price for a shower. Franklin asked me, why don't you use products? Why don't you use Schluter-Curdy products? Okay, so there are a lot of products. Anytime somebody comes out with a product, no matter what it is, there's always other companies that come along with their own type of product. That's nature of the beast. So they think they can ride that gravy train off the backs of the first company, and then you end up with 4 or 5 or 6 companies or 8 companies trying to make their own product basically off of the same idea as company number 1. Typically, as I said, for Aqua Defense or Red Guard, for just a gallon you're spending $50, and the product is doing the same exact thing as all these other high-end products. And there's newer products coming on the market, and there's a lot of other tilers out there that are pushing these products. They are making videos with these products, and you know, as I said on my last Q&A that I did about a little over a week ago, I think. I'm trying to do these once a week. There are sponsorships. So typically what you'll see is a product that is mentioned in the title, and then as you go through the video, they're showing how to install this product, and they're talking about it and all the rant and raves that they can make about, oh, this is such a great product, da, da, da. More than likely that's a sponsored product. So the company has come to that YouTuber, because they have a lot of subscribers, and said to them, hey, you know, pitch our product and we'll give you some money. So at that point, YouTube is not paying that person anymore. Oh, by the way, there are a lot of other contractors out there, and tilers too, who not only make money off of YouTube, because Google owns YouTube, so YouTube is the more subscribers you have, obviously, the more you're making, but YouTube is eventually paying that person. Then they have sponsorship, which is also paying that person. They're not at the same time. If you're a sponsor, then you don't get money off of YouTube, but that sponsorship could be huge as far as dollars go. So that's what I'm saying. And then they have a link to their PayPal. Help support my channel. Wait a minute, I'm seeing commercials on your videos, so I know YouTube is paying me or paying you. And then I see the sponsorship things. They must be sponsorships, otherwise you wouldn't push this product so much. So I know that now you're making more than you possibly could off of YouTube, and then you want somebody to click your PayPal to support your channel? Oh, and you're charging 2 or 3 times what I'm charging. But you want support. That really amazes me. That, to me, it's not right or wrong. It's just not fair. It's not just, and I don't like that. I don't make any money off of YouTube. I've been on YouTube for 6 years, so I don't make any money, and I don't have any sponsorships. I've never ever taken a sponsorship. As I said in my last video, on my Q&A video, I've never done a sponsorship. So you'll never see an infomercial about any product that I use. You'll never see any advertising, except if I have some music, which I've done lately. The music people get paid if I add their music into my video. I don't get paid off of it. And yes, I do have a PayPal link up there. And the main reason I have the PayPal link up there is not necessarily to support my channel, because I'm doing my thing anyway. My customers are supporting me. The main reason, I get a lot of calls, and I get a lot of calls for advice, and I tend to talk a lot on the phone too. And so, you know, over the years, I get these calls and I answer them, and I spend a lot of time answering people's questions, and I don't have a problem with that. But you know, the last couple of years, it's just getting crazy. You know, the more subscribers I've gotten, the more people feel that, you know, they can call me and ask for advice on their own shower, or even if they're having a contractor work on a shower, they want some advice on things that are going right or not. And again, you know, advice costs something. So the reason my PayPal is up there is if you feel the need to call me up and ask me for advice, you know, contribute something. You know, I'm generally trying to ask for about $50 for about 30 minutes, which I think is very, very fair. My opinion is what I'll offer. I'm not offering, I mean, everybody has their own way. There's other Tylers that have their own way. But if you call me, all I'm asking is you contribute a little bit. I'll feel a lot better talking to you for 30 minutes if you contribute a little bit. Just hit my PayPal up there and we'll be okay. Otherwise, I don't make any money off of YouTube. I don't make money off of anything that I'm doing here except for my work. And these other guys that are making money off of their work and they're charging higher prices and they're getting sponsored and they're getting money from YouTube and they're also begging money from you, and yeah, I don't like that. But anyway, that's it for my questions. Oh, by the way, the music thing, that's interesting. So had a couple of comments about that, about my music. Because I do tend to talk a lot, I've decided in a lot of my videos to integrate some music into it. And I just think it's a more pleasant experience to kind of watch what I'm doing rather than me talking through like you're 5 years old. So that process I'm still toying with, and I do have some videos with some music behind it. If you have an opinion about my music on my videos one way or the other, let me know. Put them on the comments down below. You like it, you don't like it, it helps you, you know, or doesn't help you, I don't know. I'm putting it out there. So anyway, I'll wrap this up. I don't know how long it's lasted, but probably way too long. And as I said, always, if you have any other questions or comments or anything like that, just let me know, and I will do the best I can to answer.